Hi, my name is Raphaël Dargent. I'm 23, I live in Paris, and I compose under the name of PHAR. Welcome to my studio. Let me briefly talk about my music background before I show you my working process. I started taking classical piano lessons from the age of 5 in Tokyo, where I spent the first 10 years of my childhood. The turning point of my life happened in 2004. I was in Thailand when the tsunami happened. I lost my mother, my brother, and my sister. It was only then I realized music would enable me to express what I couldn't say with words. Over the years, I founded a rock band and started expanding my music knowledge. I took vocal, guitar, bass, drums, and violin classes during high school. I also took audio engineering course in London Music School during summer 2011. I didn't expect to be excellent in everything, I just wanted to get the versatility of a composer. I now take jazz and composition classes with Vincent Lennover, as well as orchestration courses with Pierre Doursault, and I have the chance of exchanging regularly with Sylvain Morizet, the orchestrator of Alexander Desplat. After high school, I chose not to go to a music school. I knew music was a tough business, so I went through the French hardworking preparation classes and joined the ESSEC Business School to learn how to promote myself and get the best out of my passion. It took me only a few seconds to understand I would spend the rest of my life being a film composer after working on the soundtrack of the official movie of the school. I carried on working on several short movies, fashion commercials, rescores, various contests, and in 2017 I was given the honor of composing the soundtrack for the French President Emmanuel Macron during the presidential campaign. Now, let me show you how I work through the examples of the 3 videos I submitted for the Thornton Screen Scoring program. Let's start with Genius. This is my setup. I work on Logic with the Apogee Ensemble and Sibelius to score my tracks. I like to perform every note in the music, so I use the S88 from Native Instruments and the fader controller to play the orchestral libraries. Since this composition is about Albert Einstein, who was a great violinist, I called my violin teacher and asked him if he would like to play the solo I had written. I try as much as possible to do live recording when I can allow it. I also love to mix orchestral sounds with some electronics and sound design to show that depending on the way you look at things, everything can be music. Now, let's move on to Ratatouille. I rescored this scene because I really wanted to try out something enchanting with a classic orchestral Hollywood feel. I had to turn off the original sound to take out Michael Giacchino's brilliant score and record the sound design back entirely. I can't say it was easy, to be honest. I managed to extract the dialogues from the center channel in the 5.1 mix and clean them up with Adobe Audition. I had a lot of work mixing this orchestral session as I opted for a symphonic orchestra, so I had a lot of tracks to deal with. Finally, let's talk about the elevator scene from Drive. I wanted to have a completely different approach. I challenged myself to make up my own virtual instruments with samples. I knew it was going to be something very electronic, so I went and recorded my washing machine and tweaked it a little bit to be able to play with it, and I ended up with a beautiful synth sound. For the solo instrument, I exploited my terrible violin playing to make an unstable and scratching sound. And finally, I made this terrifying synth note by adding up some really heavy guitar sounds. So there it is. I am so eager to meet new composers and to refine my music knowledge at Thornton Music School. All my life, I have felt my story was pointing me out to something. Since I discovered it was screen scoring, I have been working like crazy, and I will continue on whatever happens. I'm PHAR, and I hope we'll meet very soon.